Everybody, welcome back. DIY project here, and just a little something different. Got an armoire project, and got something special for you. Let's get started on it. All right, so many of you know I do a lot of different projects and a lot of different things. One of the things I do, I actually make my own t-shirts and everything for being on camera, going out in public, things like that. And I have a little Cricut maker that cuts all my vinyl and everything like that. Well, it's always been on a desk, and I've jumped back and forth between different areas and trying to get everything work. So I've seen a few other people try to make these armoires work out to be a craft area or craft project area for you. And I found one that I think is going to work out pretty good. Got some ideas, and we're going to go with this. I found one here pretty solid. Now when we got it, I've already done one thing to it. We could hardly even get these doors to even close, or actually retract. I want to say retract back in here. When you try to push them back in, they were so gummed up with years and years of dust and everything else in them. Got some silicone spray in there, sprayed in, and a few times back and forth, and look at, I mean, there's no problem with them working now. I mean, both of them work great. Even this little drawer here slid out. We got a drawer down here that slides out. Now this one would still work pretty good. This one, and the doors were kind of gummed up a little bit. But what we have planned for is, I want to try and set this Cricut cutter in the center here. This little turntable here, yeah, I've already dismantled that. So that's gone. We can get rid of that. That's gone. But what I want to do is, since the Cricut does set a little wider, I'm going to put a new shelf on here, and then when I usually have mats that are like 24 inches long that I work on and cut on. So I needed something to come out here in the front. So what we're going to do is let me grab something. All right, so here is the first board that I cut. And of course I went ahead and put the Cricut so you have an idea of kind of how big the machine is and everything. The board on here, I'm going to go ahead and mount it to that board on the bottom that will allow it to kind of just slide right out. So this way, when this machine is actually running, you actually have the space behind it that it can run back and forth on here. Because this, like I said, there's 24-inch mat as it's coming through and cutting. I need that space here on the back for that mat to run through. And I'm going to need some space out here in the front to be able to work off of. Whether I'm weeding stuff out of it, like all the negative material and stuff on here, I gotta peel that stuff out and get it ready to be put on t-shirts or make stickers or whatever. So what it is, I went ahead and I cut a board. I'm a little bit short, so I'm gonna have to go back to the store to get some more, because this was all just scrap that I had laying around. So hopefully this is kind of a project that, as you start putting it together, maybe you got some scrap on a board rack somewhere, something that you can kind of build on and make it yours, you know, and not spend much money. These are getting kind of cheap out there. We went around trying to look for some that were, tried Marketplace. For some reason I had terrible luck on Marketplace, but hit some thrift stores, even went to some more high-end stores trying to find them, and found out that these are going to become more and more harder to find. Just for the simple fact that there are rules out there now for furniture makers that you cannot build things so tall because they can get top heavy and have a tip over issue. So there's rules out there. We were told that you got to have so many, like if you have a drawer out here, some kid couldn't stand in this thing and this thing come toppling over. So there may be a chance that these are going to be harder and harder to find as we go on. But back to my shelf. So here we are, we got this shelf out here, and this is where I want to work off of this thing out here. I'm going to have to build a leg to go down to the floor. But when I close this thing up, I want to be able to close this up like this, run this in, and it'll stop. I'm going to have to cut my shelf up here shorter, which is not a big deal. I think we're only going to end up being about 3/4 of an inch shorter. Not a big deal at all. And then the leg, I had kind of prepped up here a little bit. I'm going to end up making this into 2 legs, and they're going to run right down inside here. Luckily, I just have about an inch. And this is a 3/4 inch board that's going to be able to fit in here. So once we get things set in here, this door will then come around and then close in here. And we won't be able to see it, or won't have to see it or anything. It'll be all closed up. So once this folds out, fold out like this, come down, there and there. And now I have a little bit of a work area that I can work off of, and also that the cutter can work off too. So, but right now, I gotta run back to the store. Hope you stick around here for the next couple seconds, because I'll be right back with some more materials, and maybe we can actually make this thing happen. All right, here we are, we're back. I've made some updates to this, and I hope you can follow along with what I got. So, as I left you before, we needed to get some plywood and some hinges and stuff like that. So, I'm gonna open this thing up and show you what it came out to be. And there we go. Now, we have an area here to be able to work from this. Here, let me even tip the camera down here a little bit. Check out, made some legs for the bottom of it and everything, so it has a nice place to stand up there. But this is all done. Now I just need to put some paint on this and finish it up. But we are set. We have plenty enough room out here for the mat and everything to run out for cutting. Have plenty of room behind it. I was gonna grab a tape measure, but I think we got plenty of room here to get these all put in. Ta-da, tape measure. Okay, so let's say this thing is opened up. So the mat to its cutting place right now, I got almost 31 inches from the machine to the edge here, from where it is cutting, and I have 24 inches behind it. This ended up being perfect. Now this cabinet itself, just so you know too, the cabinet is 21 inches deep. It is 61 inches tall, and get in there, 34 inches wide. There's a little bit of overhang on the edges, but 34 inches wide. So that gives you an idea of what may work for you too. We still have some other things. I did get this top shelf cut, so it is set back in there just a little bit. We didn't have to move the pins for the support form and everything. Worked out perfect. It just needs a little bit of paint, and it's going in the office, going in our area, so we can do some work, and I can make some new shirts or make some new stickers or whatever we got to do. So I hope this inspires you guys to try something out, try something new, and make it your own and save a few bucks. And that's all we do here. See you guys next time. Later.